Have you ever wondered where is the perfect country for you to live on? I personally have more than 20 years trying to find this answer. And I think last month I found it. But before I tell you where is this country, I need to tell you that this is a very dangerous question. And I will show you my journey so I can tell you what lessons I have learned during this journey. I first start thinking about this question during my elementary school. At that time, I was pretty sure, as most of Albanians are now, that at least this is not that country. So I was dreaming about Italy. I was raised with Italian TV, and I was 100% sure that I need to live over there. Everything was better in Italy. Everything was much more better than what I'm seeing in the real life. In the TV was much more better. So I was dreaming about that life. I was dreaming about the university starting in Italy until the last year of high school, when I learned that my parents didn't have the money to fulfill my dream. So I was devastated at that moment, but since I am a very optimistic person, I told to myself, okay, let's deal with it and let's try to see what I can find here, how I can enjoy this country. And at that moment, everything changed. For the first time, I start to see opportunity. I start to see good things to follow. And of course, I start to follow this opportunity since I was going to live over there. And then I saw other opportunity and I followed them until I forgot about that question. But after 2 years of university, I was going for the first time outside in Albania in a road trip for 30 days, a month, in 8 different countries of Europe. And I was starting from Italy. At the first moment that I go to Verona, I was amazed. Everything about that place was beautiful, even better than I was dreaming about. The roads, the infrastructure, the building, the people, everything was so beautiful. And the next day, I was going to Berlin, which was even better than Verona. And I started thinking, I saw more than 10 other cities, and I started to think, I need to rethink again, where is the perfect country for me to live on? And I start discussing with people, with local, with immigrants in the places. And after I was used with the beauty of the roads, the infrastructure, and everything else, I start noticing something strange. In each of these countries, there were people that didn't like to live over there. It was strange. And Italy was the one with the bigger number of people that didn't want to live over there. And I was amazed how this can be possible. I'm trying to find joy, and I'm finding it in Albania and in Tirana, and they want to live this kind of city and country. I was amazed about that, but then, on my journey back, I thought, I am very good now. I'm starting to see some opportunity, and I need to find the money before I start thinking again about this question, because it's a very hard question, and I need to be ready this time. I cannot support another dream crash. So I forgot about that question again. And I finished my university, I started my first job, and then I became an entrepreneur. I opened my business, and when I was working with vendors and with partners, I noticed that most of them told me that this is not the good place to do your business. And they were right, because we are one of the lowest economy in Europe. We are one of the less developed economy in Europe. So I thought to myself, I really need to rethink again about that question, because it's very important. Since I am becoming an entrepreneur, I need to find where I need to live. And since a business is an entity who solves problems for people that are willing to pay, I was very curious to the problems of people. Every time that someone told me, I have a problem with this country, I was, okay, please let me write it down. So I was listening to all of the people problems, and I was starting to notice something strange again. People wanted to leave their country for problems that they were not willing to pay. For example, they told me, I need a better health care. And I told to them, why don't you pay an insurance company, a private insurance company, and you have one of the best healthcare? Or they told me, I need a better education system. And I told to them, why don't you pay a private school? It's so easy, there are so many in Albania. And they told me, I needed to be free. And then I thought, that's why the government is the only entity that uses force to take the money from their customers. But since I'm not in the government business, I thought to myself, okay, in Albania there are so many problems, and an entrepreneur is the one that solves these problems and put processes to solve these problems. So I thought to myself, this is the perfect place for me to be an entrepreneur. And if I become good on solving problems, then I will become very rich, and then I can live everywhere I want. And I can solve every kind of problems in all around the world. So I thought to myself, I will forget again about this question. I need to make money with this environment with so many problems. It's a perfect environment for me. But then I became a father, and I couldn't be so selfish anymore because I was really very selfish. I really love problems, but maybe my daughter doesn't love the problems that I love. So also a lot of people, when I was asking to them, they told me that I want to leave this country, not only Albania, every other country, because I want a better life for my family. And it was a very legitimate need. Everyone wants a better life for my family. So I thought to myself, this time I need to have that answer. I cannot let it anymore. I am now a father, and I have a responsibility to give that response to my daughter. So I thought to myself, since everyone told me a different direction, someone told me this is the country, this other is the country, I thought to myself, I need to have some criteria for me. What I want for my daughter to live. And I thought there are 4 criteria that is very important for me. I want her to be happy. I want her to be successful. I want her to be fulfilled. And I want her to be to belong where she is living. So I haven't the survivor part in my criteria. I'm not trying to survive, so this maybe doesn't matter for them. But for this criteria, I thought I need to see, is there any country where everyone is happy, successful, and fulfilled? And of course, no. In all of the country, most of the people are not like this. So I thought, how I can choose this country? And then I saw on internet, are there any classification of some of my criteria? And I saw the happiest country in the world. It was a classification, and the Scandinavian country were the one on the top list for some years. So I thought to myself, this is the point where I need to start. And I booked this summer vacation for Stockholm. I needed to see Stockholm, and I needed to see this happy country. So I needed to understand where I will start answering that question. And I go to Stockholm with my family, with my daughter, and it was again amazing. One of the best cities that I have seen. It seems like people really lived well at that place, but immediately I saw something strange. They doesn't seem happy. So I saw they were not sad like are in Albania like this, a lot of people, but they were not happy. They were not smiling. They were like emotionless. We do a lot of things, and they didn't smile at all. So I was strange in the metro, in the roads, in everywhere they were like without emotion. So I thought to myself, how this can be possible? The happiest country in the world, and I'm seeing less happy people that I'm seeing in Albania. What is going on over here? So I saw the criteria, and there were 6 criteria. One of them was that there are less corruption. And I thought to myself, if you have 1 year without corruption, then you are not anymore happy. It's just the way as it is. It's not that you will be happier more. So I thought to myself, I need to change perspective. Of course, Stockholm is very good, and I really can live very well over there. But I need to find that country. I need to have that response, because also Rome is very good for me. Also Barcelona is very good for me. So which of them is the perfect country? And I changed way of seeing things. I thought to myself, since I have these 4 criteria, I need to think about the people that were successful, happy, and fulfilled. How do they think? Where are they living? And I remember all the people that I have met during my life, and I asked a lot of other of them, during this last month, and immediately I start noticing a strange path. Every one of them loved the country that they were living. And it was strange because there is not a country where everyone is happy, successful, and fulfilled, but every successful, happy, and fulfilled person love where they live. And also, none of them blamed their country for their problem. None of them. They took totally responsibility for that. And also, none of them give the merit to their country for their success. No one told me, I am successful because I live in this country. No one of them. So I thought to myself, what's going on? How this can be possible? And then it hit me. I connected all the dots, all my 20 years of search, and I understood that if you give that responsibility to a country, the responsibility for your happiness and your success, then there is a high chance of not finding that. But if you take full responsibility of your happiness, of your success, then it's a huge possibility of finding that. So this is what I need to teach to my daughter. I need to teach her to take full responsibility of her happiness and her success, and she will live in the perfect country wherever she will live. Thank you.